So today we're going to look at the Pan science fiction books circa 1977 to around 1983. So these are the first half, there are 80 in total, these are the first 40. Seeing them in a grid pattern like this is quite interesting. I now feel inclined to complete the columns and the rows as well as the authors, and we're going to take a closer look at them row by row, and then we're going to take a closer look at the books themselves. So the first couple are anthologies, and these first 200 years of science fiction edited by Damon Knight. I don't have either of those. Then there's three covering the 1940s, 50s and 60s edited by Brian Aldiss and Harry Harrison. I have the first two but not the third. You can get these pretty easily, but I haven't got it yet. And then there are three, I think it's three, Brian Aldiss books. 80 Minute Hour I have. Frankenstein Unbound I don't have. I do love that cover. I actually have a copy on its way in that format, but wasn't in time to make this video. Non-Stop I have. That was Brian Aldiss's first book, I believe. And I don't have Paul Anderson or Isaac Asimov. Next is a brace of Besters. I have half of them. At least Starburst was a recent acquisition. There's only one Orson Scott Card, A Planet Called Treason, which I gather is pretty good, but I haven't read it yet. And then there are 6, I think, Arthur C. Clarke books, and I don't have any of them. I mean, I don't have any of them. I have all of them, that's what I meant to say. There's quite a variety. I mean, there's a consistent sort of theme across the design in the rectangular title and author blocks, with their kind of curved edges. Some of them silver, some of them gold. And there's some Michael Conies. I have all of those, a complete set of Conies. And then I think I have all the Richard Cowpers as well. Yeah, so some of them silver, some of them gold, some of them just have the lozenge block in the for the author. Some of them have it for the title, and in some the author and the title are in the same block. So it's a bit random. So I have all the Cowpers in various states, as you'll see when I get to show you the books themselves. And I don't have any of the Dicks, so I have all the Cowpers but no Dicks. And then there's the two parts of, again, Dangerous Visions, edited by Harlan Ellison. I have both of those. One's pretty good condition, the other one isn't. And then there are 3 Ellison collections slash books which are pretty hard to get. I was lucky I found the Approaching Oblivion in a charity shop, but the other 2 I'm just going to have to wait because you pay tens of pounds for those. There are 4 Heinleins, I think, and I'm missing one of them. And then the last one on this page is really difficult to get, The Shape of Sex to Come by Douglas Hill. That's edited by him. I think it's a collection of short stories. So they're, as I say, they're a colourful bunch. I really like the look of them. And there's joy in collecting the individual authors, so it's nice to have all the Clarks and all the Cowpers and all the Conies. So it's nice to complete the sets. Let's take a closer look. So first up is that 1940s anthology edited by Brian Aldiss and Harry Harrison. This one's in not too bad condition. It's a little bit tatty and hasn't cleaned up terribly well. It's a bit grubby in places, but not bad. I would give that one a 6 out of 10 for condition. Next up is the 50s. Splendid illustrations. Again, not bad. Pretty good. It's not faded on the spine. There's no creasing particularly. I might even give that one a 7. It's pretty good. The pages are yellow, but then they kind of tend to be, unless they've been kept in like hermetically sealed boxes for the last 40 years. So that's that first of the Dangerous Visions. Again, Dangerous Visions, rather. It's split into 2 books. And I think it's this one that has particularly faded spine. For some reason, these ones are meant to have yellow spines and yellow backs, and this one's really faded for some reason. So you can see the yellow on the next one. The cover illustration is brighter on this one as well. I don't know if it's because it's just in better condition, or if the other one was just a duller picture or what. But as you can see, this one's got a yellow spine, and the other one I think had a yellow spine but has faded. Brian Aldiss, Non-Stop. As I said, I think that's his first novel, a reprint, obviously, in the Pan science fiction. This one's a bit crappy. It's kind of a 5 out of 10. I mean, it's in one piece at least. No pages falling out, but the spine is a bit dodgy. "80-Minute Hour." Nice colourful illustration. It's a theme, actually. Nearly all of the cover art on these is fantastically colourful, and as a set, as you saw on the grid, they look really attractive. I'm not going to try to read that out. You can pause it if you want to read the blurbs on the back. So this one I got quite recently. Very, very colourful. "Starburst" by Alfred Bester. It's a little bit grubby on the spine and a tiny bit faded, but it's not too bad. Maybe a 6 out of 10. There's a bit of nonsense on the back. Orson Scott Card, "A Planet Called Treason," which somebody was telling me the other day in the comments of a video that this is really good. Probably in a book haul where I got this. It's a bit crappy. There's some creasing on the spine. It's seen better days. Transsexual growth, you say. Banished, no less. So maybe that's a 5 or a 6 out of 10. Okay, then it's the Arthur C. Clarke's "A Fall of Moondust." I read that when I was a kid. Not bad spine, not too faded. That you often can see the Pan logos fade right out, and sometimes the title rather than the author on the spine fades if it's spine faded. Childhood's End, even one of my more disappointing reads this year, which is science fiction heresy to say that out loud. The spine's in pretty good nick. This is benevolent aliens invade and take over. The View from Serendip. This is non-fiction. It's a collection of his essays and musings on anything from the tropical sea off the coast of Sri Lanka where he lived to science and God knows what else. Deep sea diving, his work on the film. So there's like anecdotes, essays, musings, as I say. This is a ginormous lozenge, this one. Look at the size of those. Imperial Earth, this one's a bit rubbish. I would give this one a 4 out of 10 for condition. It's not great. The back's a bit mucky as well, look at that. Yeah. It's either had something spilt on it or it's stained or something in the spine there on the edges a bit chipped and what have you. This one's got a crease down the cover by the spine. Yep, as I hopefully point out. Spine's not too bad, although the colour's faded out of the Pan logo. He found it in the ocean depths when strangers defied death to give him life. Haven't read that one. Arthur C. Clarke, Earthlight, I think that's the last of the Clarkes. These are easy to come by. I've just found all of these on charity shop shelves. Less easy to come by them in really good condition, mind. Tells at the time when man stands upon the moon and the planets of men now divided by the vastness of the solar system. So a tiny bit faded as well. Interestingly, that one has the author first and then the title on the spine. Most of them are the title first and then the author. In fact, that's the only one I've noticed like that. It's a bit interesting. You notice that the colour of the title on the spine varies. They go from blue to red to kind of orange to light blue to pink. Michael Coney's Brontemec. See the title's faded off almost to non-existence there. Hello Summer Goodbye. The front of that's pretty bright, but the spine, as you'll see in a second, is faded out, and you can see it's leached out into the cover as well. That's where it's been in the sunlight, yeah, there. The title has disappeared completely pretty much, and the colour's faded right out of the Pan logo, so it's just been in the sun. In the world of Ice Devils, Groom Riders and the Silky Furred Lorin, no less. Michael Coney's Charisma. Another bright coloured cover. Again, pretty spine faded. It's maybe a 4 out of 10, that one. It's got a chunk taken out of the rear cover. My aim at the moment is to complete the collection, and then I'll start upgrading over time. Where I've got crappy ones, I'll try and find at least very good, if not mint ones. That's a nice bright spine. It's not faded at all. If I remember rightly, I think this one's been covered by somebody in see-through plastic. It's got like sticky back plastic stuck on it. Road to Corley, I read that years and years ago, along with The Piper at the Gates of Dawn. It's a very cool kind of monkey skull thing with the eyes peeking out from the skull. Again, very bright spine. That was not too bad, is it? Maybe a 6 out of 10. Twilight of Briarus. The cover of this is pretty cool. If you look at her shirt under her jacket there, it's actually a continuation of the landscape. And most of these books have white spines, but some of them have wraparound art, and this is one of those. It's a little bit creased on the spine. And here's another with the wraparound art. Richard Cowper seems to have been blessed with the wraparound art. That looks like it's quite spine faded. You can see where it's leached into the front cover there. Profundis with small lozenges. So that might have been a slightly dark. You can see the Pan logo's faded out, so it probably was a bit darker previously. It would have been the same colour as the front actually. It's just faded out where it's been in the sun. And we've got Clone by Cowper. Again, an awesome picture on the front. This one's unusual for having a lozenge for the quote on the front as well. That one's pretty bright spine. That one's pretty good with the wraparound art. My one and only Harlan Ellison book. I can't remember now if Approaching Oblivion is a short story collection or a novel. See if we can tell from the back. Not too bad. It's a little bit faded, but not too bad. Yeah, I couldn't tell from that. We got some Heinleins, Puppet Master. That's Puppet Masters rather. This one's not in very good condition. It's a bit ropey. Maximum 5 out of 10, I would say. You can see the spine's taped up and it's creased and a bit rubbish. Green Hills of Earth. Cool image on the front. Again, a bit rubbish. At best, a 5 out of 10 from a condition point of view. It's alright, but it's just a bit faded and creased and a bit knackered, as we say here in England. Waldo and Magic Inc., which I think are 2 novellas or novelettes. It's an awesome picture. I love that picture. Bit faded and beaten up on the spine. Yeah, I think it's 2 separate stories, Waldo and then Magic Inc. So that's the first half done. So this is the second half. I'm a bit more sparsely populated on the second half. You can see there's more greyed out covers on here. I've got more of the first 40 than I do of the second 40. But I could complete the first 3 columns by just acquiring 3 more books, which would be pretty nice. These are harder to get, I think, for sensible money anyway. Let's take a closer look at them. So Robert Holdstock and Christopher Priest, Stars of Albion, a bit of a collab. And then I've got, but I don't have that one, I do have the next 2. And then there's a Christopher Priest, I think, edited anthology called Anticipations, which I don't have. 2 McIntyres, don't have those either. I could get them for £5 or £6, but that feels like a bit too much. And probably not in very good condition either. Richard McKenna I don't have. I have a few of the priests, but I'm missing a couple. Some of them aren't very good quality. One or two of them are actually, but Inverted World's a little bit battered. And I think I've got all of the shawls bar one, Other Days, Other Eyes, which is outrageously expensive. I presume it must be very rare. You could easily spend 30 to 40 or even £50 on just that one book in half decent condition. I do have it in a different livery than this, but you pay big bucks to complete that shawl set there, I think. I have one of the Sheckley, but not the others. People Trap, I'm missing that one. Don't have any of the Silverbergs in this livery. You can get them easily enough, sort of between £5 and £10 typically, so not outrageously expensive, but more than I want to spend. And then there's 2 Simacs, I think. I have the Werewolf Principle, but not Like All Them Back from Heaven. And it's the first of 6 Staplefords. There are in all the Star Pilot Granger series, books 1 to 6. I'm missing 2. I don't have Promised Land or Swan Song. Again, you can get them easily enough, but not necessarily in good condition. Sturgeon's Case and the Dreamer. I have that one. There are 2 Tiptrees. I have one, although it's a pretty, I would describe it as a reading copy. It's pretty beaten up. 10,000 Light Years from Home is pretty hard to get. Anarchistic Colossus I have, but I don't have the Biker story by Steve Wilson at the end there. So again, they're all a beautiful bunch of books. I think it's going to be the work of several years to complete this set, and certainly to get them in tip-top condition. I think in most cases I'm going to be looking out for them on the shelves of my local charity shops. I have got quite a few of them like that, including 1 or 2 that are supposedly difficult to get. Okay, so let's have a look. So Holdstock's Earthwind, with the gleaming boobs. That one's a bit faded on the spine. It's not too bad though. I would probably give that a 7 out of 10 for condition. You can see it came in a plastic bag, so it means I bought it from a dealer. I don't know where this one came from, but it's in very nice condition. Eye Among the Blind. Look at that, very bright spine, not creased, not faded at all. I might have given that one an 8 out of 10. I don't know where Christopher came from, he appeared suddenly. I read this earlier this year, actually in a different version, but it was a little bit mind-blowing actually. So that one, as I say, is a little bit rubbish, maybe a 5 out of 10. Condition-wise, that is. Here's another Priest in Doctrinaire. I haven't read this one. Another fantastic image. Looks like it's got a nuke on the front. Pretty good spines, not faded or creased too badly. So this is a post-nuclear war thing. Fugue for a Darkening Island. This sounds like a right barrel of laughs. It's a sort of right-wing government in power. Millions of refugees appear on our shores and things go south from there. Cosmic Kaleidoscope. I'm about to read this actually. This is a short story collection. It's a bit faded on the spine. And it's a bit grubby on the back look. I'm not sure if that's just sticker residue. I might be able to get rid of that. Or if it's just markings. Didn't come out with a polish anyway. Medusa's Children. Again, another cool cover. Bit of fade on the spine. Not too bad. It's maybe a 6 out of 10 for condition. Here's one with wraparound art. Vertigo. This one's in pretty good nick actually. Nice. Not really faded. I'd like to read this. This is a Big Dumb Object book. So involving a Dyson sphere, if I remember rightly. Pretty bright spine, not faded. Bit of a tear on the back, not too bad. 6 out of 10. I've read this one, Ship of Strangers. It was a fun kind of episodic story. It's kind of an homage to Voyage of the Space Beagle by Van Vogt. That's a bit crappy, isn't it? I could definitely do with an upgrade. Wreath of Stars with a very ethereal kind of person emerging from the mist there. Very faded spine. The title either was never there as a flaw in the printing, or it's faded to the point of non-existence. Who goes here? Guy with a gun. That's less faded. It's pink writing, or maybe it was red originally. Looks pink. Robert Sheckley's Options. What looks like an enormous multi-headed dragon type thing on the front. Reasonably bright, but a bit grubby on the spine. And there's one of the two Simax. It's a fantastic cover. That might be my favourite of the covers of these. The Werewolf Principle. Reasonably bright spine. Not too bad on the back either. Maybe a 7 out of 10. It's far from mint, but it's pretty good. And then there's the 4 of the 6 Staplefords. Star Pilot Granger. So there's book 1. House in Drift with the Hooded Swan, I believe the spaceship is called. Very bright spine. Can't argue with that. Not bad. It's a 7 or maybe even an 8 out of 10, that one. Again, not bad condition. So that was that Trying to see. Book 2, I think. Rhapsody in Black. Bit of fade on the spine. These are space opera. Nice short, sharp space opera. Paradise Game is the 4th, I think, so I'm missing book 3. That's a very nice spine. That's in pretty good condition. We'll call that an 8 or even maybe a 9 out of 10. The text block on all of these is going to be yellowed unless it's been, kept in the dark in a fridge or something. The Fenris Device. It's the 5th, I think. Yeah. So I'm missing book 3 and 6, or is it 4 and 6? I forget. Pretty faded. The pan logo's basically gone. Nice. Last few. So there's Theodore, Case and the Dreamer. I'm not sure if that's one novel or a few short stories. That one, the author and the title are in the same lozenge block. Spine's pretty good on that one, as is the back. So I think that's maybe 3 little novelettes, I'm not sure. There's Tiptree, Up the Walls of the World, which is a bit rough. It's pretty, aside from the Ellison collections, it's the thickest of the books. But you can see it's pretty faded and creased and a bit concave on the spine. Not bad. And then the last one is Van Vogt, The Anarchistic Colossus. Nice bright picture. Spine's pretty good, if a bit grubby. These will all have been cleaned, so that's stained to the point where it won't come off. So that's it. That's the grand tour through. I think I've got 47 of the 80. Hope you enjoyed that. As always, thanks for watching. And until next time, goodbye for now.